On today's video, we spend the morning in Phoenix doing some street photography, testing out the Nikon Zf, which I'm filming with today, along with the 28mm f2.8, which I'm also filming with today. Roll that beautiful bean footage. All right, so welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. And if you are new, please take a look at some of my other videos. I made a cool vlog series in Ireland. Some of the first videos that I created, spent a lot of time on them. They might not be perfect because I was just getting used to video editing, but I really enjoyed that series. So check them out. Okay, so I went downtown for 2 weeks, 2 different Saturdays to really put the 28mm f2.8 and the Zf through its paces. I tested the Saramonic mic while I was out and walking. I tested the internal mics. I tested this mic, which I'm wearing now, which is a PowerWise, I believe it is. It's here, I'll open my drawer, show you what it is. I got it off of Amazon. I didn't spend a ton of money on it. Before I spent a ton of money, I wanted to make sure it was gonna work. I might look at getting the Rode lavalier mic next, but I wanted to test something out that wasn't gonna break the bank. And this thing sounds pretty good, so I'm not so sure. But anyhow, let me get back to the video. I'm rambling again. I'm in Phoenix 2 weeks in a row. I'm really putting the 28mm through its paces. In week 2, I did bring out my Manfrotto tripod. And I also brought out a new bag in week 2. Let me go get it. So the bag that I brought with me is this bad boy. So I have the Peak Design 6-liter in blue, but I really wanted to have this 3-liter so that I could have like a really light travel setup. I wanted to be able to just put this thing in my laptop bag and take it on all my business trips and all my trips overseas coming up, and not having to pack the big bag. I'm not taking the Z8 and a Z30 and 2 lenses like I did when I went to Ireland in December. From now on, hopefully, as long as this Zf does the job I hope it's gonna do, and you'll find out more as we go through this video, hopefully I can take this bag, the Zf, the 28mm and the 40f2, this wired mic, and I'll show you another little device I got for like $10 off of Amazon. Just a little bit smaller, same kind of setup, just a little bit smaller than the Manfrotto, and it extends a little bit longer. So this bad boy is gonna start making this rotation in my bag going forward, and I'm gonna use it when I travel because it fits real nice in the bag, in the little pocket. If you can see that, the little pocket right here. It allows me to still put my accessories in the big pocket, part of that pocket, and still use that side of it without scratching up my gear with the tripod. Anyway, so I tested these out in week 2. In week 1, I tested my other sling, and I tested the Saramonic mic, and we're gonna take you through all of that. All right, guys, I am testing, vlogging, and walking with the Zf. Using the internal mics right now. I'm testing with the 28 f2.8 lens. I'm gonna do some street photography in Phoenix. I'll be honest with you guys and say that I don't normally shoot 28mm. I'm usually a 50mm guy when it comes to street photography, but that 40mm f2 that I have, which is a fantastic Nikon street lens, it's too tight for vlogging. As you can see, the internal mics, they sound real tinny, or the fact that there's no dynamic range in the microphone, so you don't hear the bass and the treble and the mid-range. You just kind of hear the highs and the vocals. It'll work in a pinch, but it's definitely not as robust as I want it to sound, not for a YouTube channel. I've already talked about the Saramonics, but I'm gonna let you decide. Roll it. All right, guys, we're walking through ASU Central right now, and I have the Saramonic mic attached to my shoulder sling here, and seeing how the audio on it works for vlogging. As you can see, the Saramonic mics sound very muffled, they don't sound that way in the studio, so I'm not so sure if it was just this one occurrence, if I had something I did wrong. So I'm gonna have to do some more testing with the Saramonic mics. They just didn't wow me. This plugged in, no battery required, no charging required lavalier mic, while I might be tethered to my camera, it's not that big of a deal. Shut up, Wes. Let's roll the next clip outside on the streets of Phoenix. What I will say is that having the switch up here for video and photo, similar to the Z8 really, and similar to the C6 too, but having that switch, to be able to switch back and forth between video and photo is making it so easy to use this camera to vlog with and to do street photography and travel photography with. Although I just heard that they just leaked the X100 Mark 6 from Fuji, and it's gonna have 40 megapixels resolution of the X100VI, and it's also gonna have IBIS in it. What? That is going to be my next camera, and probably the X Pro 4. Let's just be honest. Gear problems, people, gear problems. All right, back to shooting some street photography. So I love this area right here just because of the old buildings. I'm getting ready to walk across the street, but I love the area when the light hits it right here. You've seen this probably in one of my photos already, if you follow me on Instagram. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, what are you doing? You need to follow me on Instagram. But to see how this light cuts through right here, that should make for a really cool photo. I'll try it again with the ZF this time. All right guys, see the new mic, the new lavalier mic. I have filmed a couple of videos at home with it. I'm gonna go ahead and close the video out. I just wanted to test this new lavalier mic in a noisier environment, and I will talk to you guys in a minute. As you can see, the lavalier mic sounds the best of all the mics. I'm doing some basic audio adjustments in DaVinci Resolve, but I'm doing it to the entire track so that it doesn't change or just one input versus the other. I want you guys to really be able to tell the difference between the lavalier mic that I'm wearing, the Saramonic wireless mic that I had clipped to my sling, and the internal mics. Now, I have noticed some clipping, and I think it might be due to the fact that I have the automatic gain adjustment set up. So for this test in video, for these last few clips that I'm filming in the studio, for this video, I am using a manual adjustment, and I manually adjusted it down to where it didn't clip. And we're gonna see if it makes it sound just that much better. So I talk a lot about highlight weighted metering, and I put the camera in highlight weighted metering for this video to kind of show you what I'm talking about. See how it exposes for the light at the door, and when people walk through that light, it exposes for them as well. And it makes for a really dynamic, contrasty scene, and it's just a great street photography shot, and I enjoy using highlight weighted metering because of this. It just takes a lot of the guesswork out of the lighting of my photo. Now, you probably could use spot metering and get by and just be fine, but highlight weighted metering just helps just a little bit more than spot metering in case you're not actually focused or pointed at the light. It'll actually meter for the highlights and expose everything in the highlights evenly. Try it out sometimes if you have a camera that'll do it, like this Nikon Zf. Alright guys, I just ate at my favorite place, and now I am headed back out to do some more street photography. So far, the light's been amazing. The thing about street photography when you go downtown is you don't want to go first thing in the morning. You want to go a little bit in the afternoon when light starts cutting through some of the buildings, and it allows you to get those dynamic contrast scenes. I'm a little tipsy from a couple of pints of Guinness, but let's get back into to a little street photography, and let me show you what I'm talking about. This ZF is working, and I hope this mic is doing what it's supposed to do. It looks like it is. Seems like it's gonna be a good situation for me. It did good in the studio. All the other mics have sucked. Again, if you got any tips, let me know. All right, let's get back to the street photography in Phoenix. Well, that wraps up this week of street photography in Phoenix with the Nikon Zf and 28mm f2.8. What did you guys think? I feel like the Nikon Zf is going to be my new camera of choice going forward. It fits perfectly in the 3-liter bag. It's got all the inputs. It's got this flippy screen. I'm a side rant. I just filmed an entire video, the review of the Zf, the entire second half of the video, with a freaking, I'm not gonna say it's a booger, but it might have been a booger, with a piece of food right on the tip of my nose. Why? Why did that happen? Well, I filmed it with the Z8, fantastic camera, did a great job, but it doesn't have a damn flippy screen. This harkens back to my YouTube video in my review of the Z8 where I talked about this. It needs that Sony a7R5 tilty flippy screen, because now I gotta film the entire second half of that video over again. And what does that mean? It's gonna take a little longer to get it out, guys. But enjoy the street photography video. If you got any questions about the ZF or Z8 or anything about Nikon or Fuji or any of the cameras for that matter, I've shot them all like I've discussed in previous videos. So if you got any questions, let me know. And to that one guy that reached out to me on my webpage for advice about a camera, dude, just drop it in the comments. It's so much easier to do it that way. I tried to reply to you and it bounced back, the email bounced back, so I'm sorry. If you want some advice, drop them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to do that. Till the next video, I'm out of here. All right, guys. What'd you think? Do you like standing versus sitting? For like standing, I can use props. Not only can I use props, I can use my computer monitor as a teleprompter. Say what? All right, I'm done. I'm out of here.